Agriculture, Geography, Chapter 4, Class 10. Before I start with the chapter, let me take you back to Class 9. In Class 9, you've already studied about the three types of economic activities. These are primary activities, secondary activities, and tertiary activities. In primary activities, you've already studied that the activities which are connected with the extraction and production of natural resources like forestry, agriculture, mining, animal husbandry, etc. In secondary activities, you've already studied that it is connected to the processing and manufacturing of primary goods into finished goods. And in tertiary activities, you've already studied that it provides support to the primary and secondary sectors through services. Now, in this chapter, we are going to study about agriculture, which is the main primary activity of a country. When we talk about agriculture, my first question is, what is agriculture? It is the science and art of cultivation of the soil, raising crops and rearing livestock is known as agriculture. It is also called as farming. The word agriculture has been derived from the Latin word agricultura, where ager means land or field and cultura means cultivation. The word agri means soil. Agriculture is a primary activity, as I've already told you. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, and rearing of livestock. And do you know that two-thirds of India's population is still dependent on agriculture? When we talk about types of farming, do you know that agriculture is an age-old economic activity in our country? Over these years, cultivation methods have changed significantly depending upon the characteristics of physical environment, technical know-how, and socio-cultural practices. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial type. At present, in different parts of India, various types of farming systems are practiced. These are primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. The first type of farming which we are going to study today is primitive subsistence farming. This type of farming is still practiced in few pockets of India. Primitive subsistence agriculture is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe, dhow, and digging sticks, and family or community labor is also a part of it. This type of farming depends upon monsoon, natural fertility of the soil, and suitability of other environmental conditions to the crops grown. It is also known as slash and burn agriculture. What is slash and burn agriculture now? Farmers in this type of agriculture, they clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their family. When the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. This type of shifting allows nature to replenish the fertility of the soil through natural processes. Land productivity in this type of agriculture is low as the farmer does not use fertilizers or other modern inputs. It is also known by different names in different parts of the country. Not just in India, but all over the world, slash and burn agriculture is known by different names. But students, remember one thing, different names have one meaning, that is slash and burn agriculture. Intensive subsistence farming is practiced in areas of high population pressure on land. It is labor intensive farming where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining higher production. Another thing which is very important here is that right of inheritance, that is, when the father dies, the legal heirs are equally holding the share in the property. Through the right of inheritance, it is leading to the division of land among successive generations, which has rendered land holding size uneconomical. The farmers continue to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of alternative source of livelihood. Thus, there is enormous pressure on agricultural land. Continuing with the problems of intensive farming, division of land through successive generation leads to plot size getting smaller and smaller. This makes it impossible to properly manage the farm inputs. There is a huge pressure on agricultural land. Multiple cropping is practiced. Even more, land is not left barren, so it becomes difficult to regain the fertility of the soil. The farmers are using excessive fertilizers, which has led to land degradation, and hence large scale farming is not possible in such a case. The next type of farming is commercial farming. The main characteristic of this type of farming is the use of higher doses of modern inputs. Example, high yield variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides in order to obtain higher productivity. The degree of commercialization of agriculture varies from one region to another. For example, rice is a commercial crop in Punjab and Haryana, but in Odisha it is a subsistence crop. The meaning of this line is that in areas of Punjab and Haryana, people are growing more and more of rice so that they sell it in the market and earn more and more money. This kind of farming is done at a very large scale so as to earn more profits. Whereas on the other side, in areas in Orissa, this crop is grown for personal use, that is, for their own consumption. Hence, it is a subsistence crop in Orissa. Plantation is also a type of commercial farming. In this type of farming, a single crop is grown on a large area. The plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. That means it is the main connection and the centrifugal point which connects agriculture and industry together. And how it happens is that plantations cover large areas of land. It uses capital intensive inputs with the help of migrant laborers. All the produce that is grown on plantation areas is used as a raw material in respective industries. In India, tea, coffee, banana, rubber, sugarcane, etc. are important plantation crops. Tea in Assam and North Bengal, coffee in Karnataka are some of the important plantation crops grown in these areas. Since the production is mainly for market, a well-developed network of transport and communication connecting the plantation areas, processing factories, and markets play an important role in the development of plantations. Plantation is also a type of commercial farming. In this type of farming, a single crop is grown on a large area. The plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. That means the plantation is the main centrifugal point which connects the agriculture and industry together. How this happens is the plantations cover large areas of land using capital intensive inputs and with the help of migrant laborers. All the produce is used as raw material in respective industries. In India, tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana, etc. are important plantation crops. Tea in Assam and North Bengal, coffee in Karnataka are some of the important plantation crops grown in these states. Since the production in the plantation areas is mainly done for the market, a well-developed network of transport and communication connecting the plantation areas, processing industries, and markets play an important role in the development of plantations. We have already studied in our previous years about the physical diversities and plurality of cultures in India. These are also reflected in agricultural practices and cropping patterns in the country. Various types of food and fiber crops, vegetables and fruits, spices and condiments, etc., constitute some of the important crops grown in the country. India has three important cropping seasons, that is Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. These are also known as the cropping pattern which are followed in the country. Rabi crops are sown in winter from October to December and harvested in summer from April to June. Some of the important Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram, and mustard. Though these crops are grown in large parts of India, states from the north and northwestern parts such as Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand are important for the production of wheat and other rabi crops. Availability of precipitation during winter months due to the western temperate cyclones helps in the success of these crops. However, the success of the Green Revolution in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, and parts of Rajasthan has also been an important factor to the growth of the above mentioned rabi crops. Kharif crops are grown with the onset of monsoon in different parts of the country, and these are harvested in September to October. Important crops grown during this season are paddy, that is rice, maize, jowar, bajra, tur or arhar, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut, and soybean. Some of the most important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Maharashtra, particularly the Konkan coast along the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Recently, paddy has also become an important crop of Punjab and Haryana. In states like Assam, West Bengal, and Odisha, three crops of paddy are grown in a year. These are Os, Aman, and Boro. In between the Rabi and Kharif seasons, there is a short season during the summer months known as the Zaid season. Some of the crops produced during Zaid are watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables, and fodder crops. Sugarcane takes almost a year to grow. A variety of food and non-food crops are grown in different parts of the country depending upon the variations in soil, climate, and cultivation practices. Major crops grown in India are rice, wheat, millets, pulses, tea, coffee, sugarcane, oilseeds, cotton, and jute, etc. When we bifurcate the major crops of the country, these can be divided into food crops other than grains, horticulture crops, non-food crops, and fiber crops.